now, then I set your place.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome to the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Yes, indeed. So here we go. New Year's Eve. This year is officially out of here. So first of all, congratulations everybody that's still here who made it to see another year. I know everybody's going to be prepping for the big countdown this evening. Just a PSA to all my brothers and sisters going out. Something I always say on my platform, practice emotional intelligence. Please leave or return back to your house in the same condition you left. And the condition you left was alive. I don't know why people, enjoy violence this time of year, but it's not worth it. If you can walk away from the drama, walk away from the drama. Be safe. Use common sense. Don't engage people that are irate and playing with them guns. It's not a good look. But anyway, welcome to the platform. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody new that may be tuning in right now. Welcome. And let me just say, your patronage is valued. And from this moment on, I consider you a narrator. Now, for all my narrators, we already know the demonstration. We already know what my platform is all about. But new people just newly tuning in do not. So I'll break that down right quick. Starting at the top, the name, the narrative. Basically, when I decided to do this podcast, I noticed that the media was weaving a false narrative about original people and original culture. So I decided to design a platform where, I'm giving an accurate depiction and representation of our people and our culture to combat, the inaccuracy and the false narrative that the media portrays about original people and original culture. I'll get to the original part in a second. So basically, I just want to create a platform where I'm highlighting and showcasing us at our best instead of, feeding in and generating and helping them perpetuate negative stereotypes about our people and our culture. As a matter of fact, the tagline of my podcast is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. Now, how do you destroy the negative stereotypes? You provide positive frames of reference. And that's precisely what I do on my platform. I provide positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So now getting back to, the original part. What do you mean by original? On my platform, I've decided to replace the word black in reference to our people and us with original. Now, the reason why I did that is I recently had an epiphany about the word black and, what it symbolizes and how it's described in the dictionary. And any iteration of the dictionary, describes the word black with a negative connotation. It usually is associated with death and um, signifies or signals the end of all things. And our people is anything but dead, and you know, just the reverse. We're the beginning of all things, not the end of all things. Uh, so, like I said, the word black, it has a negative connotation surrounding it. Um, a bunch of negative nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, example sentences using the word black, such as like black cloud, gloomy, um, you know, black, dark magic, black, bad luck, death, a black day, a black night, dusty, dirty, dismal. Uh, but before they come to all those, example words, synonyms for the word black, they go out of the way to, point back to origin or, original nationality with the word black. They usually say, black people, Aboriginal people, are people descending from Africa. So it's really a psychological mind game that they play with us in the printed text, because that's the only word, linked to origin. Because when you look up yellow, they don't say anything about Asia, people coming from the continent of Asia. When you look up the color red, they don't say anything about Native Americans, even though I'm getting to that part. Most of us was originally here, and most of us are the original Native. But anyway, I digress. So that's why, I decided to replace black with the word original, because we were and are the original man of this planet. All three who was originally here in all three Americas, who was originally here on all four corners of the globe. He originated reading, writing, science, mathematics, biology, history, chemistry, botany, modern medicine, healing, pretty much everything started with us. There's nothing that you can't link, origins that you can't link back to our people as starting it. Our presence on the globe everywhere. We were the original teachers. We brought enlightenment everywhere we existed. We never forced dominion on people, or forced our dominion on people. We never forced our beliefs and value systems on anyone. We never tried to conquer or take over regions. We don't have a history of being warlike. We never spread death and destruction everywhere we went. We only brought enlightenment and education and spirituality. Never forced our beliefs and value systems on anyone. So that's why we are the original. And I think the word original is better befitting to us to describe us as a people. So on this platform, I try to insert the word original in reference to us as often as I can. So now that you know what my podcast is about, we're clear on the original thing. I'm going to dive into this content. Oh, wait, I'm glazing over something. Also, the ultimate takeaway I want people listening to my podcast to get from it is, the importance of, providing positive frames of reference and sharing positive content on your platforms. That's why I refer to my listeners as my narrators, because we are all, to some small capacity or, degrees of understanding content creators. We all have the power and the ability to change the narrative, change how our people are perceived simply by just being selective of the content you share online. Because these days, you're judged about the content you share online. So if you're always sharing drug culture, gang culture, thought culture, um, violence culture, whatever, anything negative online, people are going to link it to, your belief system, your value system. So just imagine people outside of our culture that's never met any original men or original women, don't know any original men or women, ever in life. They only get these frames of references about us through television, music, um, and literature, and they're all negative. And like I said, it's intentionally done by the powers that be. Um, it's mostly to sell news, but then also it's also done to control the minds of the masses and warp their perception of us, and also to warp our perception of ourselves, to cause psychological games, to cause a form of self-hatred, and to cause us to, hate our brothers and sisters by, they keep saturating the media and bombarding us with these negative frames of reference, these negative images and these negative stereotypes, and it just kind of psychologically does something to us, psychologically does something to everyone. So it is up to us to, share positive frames of reference about our people and our culture, like I try to do here on the Narrative Podcast. Um, so another thing about my podcast is broken up into sections. Each section has a speaking point. I try to be really time conscientious of my content or my broadcast time. I try to keep my segment, no longer than the hour. If I go over hours, only slightly. When I first started podcasting, I had really no clue what I was doing. I would just hit record and just go in, and I would just veer all over the place, bounce from topic to topic. No interconnecting points, nothing to cement my main point that I was driving at, which is, to change the narrative. And as a result of me doing that, not too many people was listening to me. So I decided to, make my content more cohesive and digestible. So I broke it up into sections, and it's done the trick. My numbers have gone up. My platform is continuing to grow, and I'm resonating with a lot more people. It's just more digestible and easier to understand and easier to follow. Broken up into sections, and try to keep it short, sweet, and brief and to the point as possible. So one more disclaimer before I dive into my content. Um, this platform is monetized, so you will hear ad rolls, but this is really good content. So you're going to advertisements are going to be like happening randomly throughout the broadcasting. I'm recording right now, so I don't know when they'll occur, when they will insert the ads, or even what the ads are about. But if you know, you know. That's how you pay the bills. That's how you keep the ball rolling on this podcasting thing, or like anything online. Really, when you think about it, is the ads and your algorithm and all that. So just when you hear the advertisement, don't stop listening, and you will be rewarded. And speaking of rewarded, make sure you download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast to, help keep the platform growing. So now diving into the content, onto my first section. My first section is the promotional section. And in this section, what I'm doing here is promoting businesses owned and operated by original people. The reason why I'm doing this is to help the original dollar circulate in the original community, keep the dollar circulating in our community. By giving them the opportunity to get some free promotion to, help attract some business to them. And, if everything goes well, their business will grow. They'll hire more of our own and do more for their community that they're rooted in. So, if you need or like some free promotion, please reach out to me at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type the word promo, and the body of the email, be specific as possible about your, business, product, or service that you're offering. Tell me specific details. If you got a brick and mortar location, the address, directions, the building capacity, hours of operation. Can you rent the facility? Do you sponsor anything in the community? How did you start? A little bit of background about yourself, your educational background. Why are you in business? This is just basically, if you have a business, basically anything that would be in the about section. Because people really do want to know that stuff. Consumers want to know, who they're, purchasing stuff from. Like familiarity, that's how you get business, make people familiar with your brand and your services. So, help me help you. Be specific as possible. And like I said, the promotion is 110% free. I'm not charging any money at all. And my purpose, like I said, is to help generate or accumulate the original dollar, or circulate. That's the word I was searching for. Help circulate the original dollar and keep it in the original community by, letting people be aware of your services and helping you grow your business, expound your business. All publicity is good publicity, especially when it's free. So you don't have anything to lose. I don't want anything from you. You don't even have to plug my podcast. If you don't want to, it'd be greatly appreciated if you did. But it is what it is, and it's all for the greater good. It's all for the greater good. That's why I'm doing it. So if you need that free promotion, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. Subject bar promo. On to the next section. The next section is my contest section. And it's a contest I'm running exclusively for my podcast, the Narrator Podcast. And the name of the contest is the Chew On This contest. And the reason why I'm calling it the Chew On This contest, because I'm giving my listeners the opportunity to earn a bulk supply of their favorite snack simply by participating in the contest. And the contest topic is share your most recent shopping while black experience. So to enter the contest, just hit me up at the exact same email address that I just gave for the promotion. The way I'm separating the two is through the subject bar. So for the contest, to enter the contest, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host, and in the subject bar, type "chew on this" / shopping while black. If you don't want to type in the whole word shopping while black, type in SWB in all caps. And in the body of the email, include your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address so I know where to send your prize, the snack. It's a bulk supply of your favorite snack, so it's not just one thing. It's like a get right pack. And then what type of snack, tell me what type of snack you want, and I'll send it to you just for entering the contest. Again, not charging any entry fee, and this section is just basically an incentive section to incentivize listeners. So if you've been listening, this is a opportunity for you to win a prize. And if you're not familiar with the Narrative Podcast, this is a way to pull you in to get you listening. So sweet for everybody. I'm going to try to also supply your snack from an original people-owned vendor. So, everybody gets something. And it's a circle of, everybody getting something. I'm getting your patronage for my podcast. You're getting a free prize, and the original people-owned business is getting my business because I'm purchasing from them to get you your prize. So everybody gets something. Win-win. All right, so now you got the contest specifics. My only rule is just don't make it your shopping while black story overly long. Try to keep it as brief and to the point as possible. Just give me a very brief synopsis of your experience. I don't want a graphic novel. I don't just tell me what happened. All right, so now that you got the contest details, here we go into the content. My very first section of the Narrative Podcast is my highlight section. In this section, what I'm doing is I'm highlighting businesses owned and operated by original men and original women. And in this section, what I attempt to do is give the positive frame of reference about entrepreneurialism. I'm providing positive frames of reference on the Narrative Podcast about our people and our culture. So what better way to, kick it off with giving positive frames of reference about entrepreneurialism. These are stories about just regular people like you and me who was working 9-to-5 jobs and decided to go into business for themselves. They didn't necessarily have a whole lot of expertise in the industry that they started. They didn't necessarily have a whole lot of educational background, finances. They just, was passionate about something, got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and decided to do something. So the positive frame of reference I want to do in this section is to, convey that, you can do it, because the media keeps on bombarding us with all these negative images, always showing us in strife, always showing us in lack, and trying to program and condition us to be complicit about that life, about, being less than and having less and settling for less. These people went outside of their comfort zones and, found a way to make it work. So, that's all what I'm trying to do in that section is just, give you the positive frame of reference about people triumphing in the face of adversity and, finding a way to start their businesses. And another thing I try to do in this section is show you the progressive, their steps of progression, how they came up with the idea, what year they established it, any obstacles they encountered, their business partners' names and, their name and, how they, if they came up with the concept of the business, their business mission statement, business module and their philosophy, the business philosophy and, just all the dynamics of, their journey. That's what I try to break down in this section. Many times the information is just not there, but, I want to try to give you a walkthrough through the process and, give you the full experience. But sometimes it's just not like that, and I do what I can with the information I can find. So jumping right into the section. Oh, also the business owners. I try to highlight are people that do back or do for the community by giving back, such as hiring their own, either having their own nonprofit organization or paying into a nonprofit organization, doing some type of philanthropy, some type of humanitarian work, um, things of that nature. Also, aligning up with my theme, and my current theme is the season of winter. All right, so now diving into the highlight section. My first business, I'm gonna tell you the types of business I'll be highlighting. Keep on getting ahead of myself. I guess it's just the ending of the year that kind of got me like just you know going too fast. But anyway, so in wintertime, people drink a lot of beverages. Um, the most common one is cocoa. I couldn't find so many cocoa companies ran by us, so I did the next best thing, especially if you're in a four season state. I myself, I don't partake in this beverage, but this is the beverage that I will be highlighting today, and it is coffee. Coffee sales are up in the winter time, so people drink a lot of coffee during the winter. And these next businesses that I will be highlighting are people that own their own coffee brand. So going right into it. First, original people own and operate a coffee business comes to you from the Mocha Box. And this business proprietor's name is Floyd Sarton and Harlan Thomas. They established it in 2015. Mochabox.com. You can go online and check them out. So basically, they met in college and consumed a lot of coffee, of course, while you're in college. Up all night studying for exams. You went you a hot cup of Joe. Um, and, eventually, they start kicking around the idea of starting their own coffee brand because they, consuming coffee, of course, you want inclusion. You want to see yourself in anything you purchase, and they didn't see a lot of representation of us in the coffee industry. So, they decided to, start their own brand. And again, I'm giving you the sleek line version of their story, or streamlined. I keep on, I don't know, the streamlined version of their story because I'm trying to be time conscientious. It's more complex than what I made it, but yeah, they started to create their own coffee brand because they want to change the narrative about the coffee industry by, giving it some inclusion, including ourselves in the overall aspect of the coffee industry. Um, so yeah, like I said, their story is like a little bit more in depth on their website at mochabox.com. They are 100% original owned from the top to the bottom, so they hire their own. Everything, is done in house. They also have a tea line as well. Um, we got merch, and go support them. And it's called Mocha Box. So give a warm narrative round of applause for the brothers over at Mocha Box, Floyd Sarton and Harlan Thomas. All right, moving on. The next business I will be highlighting is Sip and Sonder. Proprietor's name is sister by the name of Amanda Jane Thomas and Shanita Nichols. They basically met in college while practicing law. They too were inspired to start their own coffee line. Their basically startup company was in Oakland, California. It was originally out on the East Coast, and they just discovered a need for the products. And again, like I said, their story is more in depth than what I'm giving you. The snapshot that I'm giving you about them, because both of them are very talented. They wear many hats, multi-talented. So the coffee business is not the only thing that they both got going on, but just focusing on the coffee business. It's more in depth. Their story is more in depth on the website at www.sipandsanders.com. So of course, they're original women-owned business from the top to the bottom. Their main thing is to give back to the community. That's their business philosophy, is to give back to the community. And they make it very clear, our community. When they say the community, they mean us. And they also have their own nonprofit organization. It's called Sonder Impact. And basically it's like an empowerment module, or like a nonprofit empowerment thing for the community. It teaches like financial literacy, investments clubs, and other things, and all kind of outreach within the community, vocational skills, and how to make presentations, deliver speeches, and any other interpersonal soft skill you would need as a business owner. So give it a warm narrative round of applause up for Sip and Sonder and the proprietors, Amanda and Shanita. All right, and on to my last coffee. I think I actually covered this one before. I'm not sure if I did it on a live feed. I believe I did it on a live feed. But my final coffee business I will be highlighting in this section is Black and Bold Coffee. And black is it's just BLK, it's not spelled out BLACK, it's just spelled out BLK, and bold. And it got some bold packaging, so I'm I'm a real sucker for the play on words and all that because the packaging is black and gold. So those gold is a really bold color, and then black. Most people like the coffee black, so it works. It works. Very clever. I like it. Um, Proprietor's name is Pernell and Rod. It did not say their last names. It just said Pernell and Rod. Didn't say what year it got established either. But go to blackandbold.com, and once again, the spelling of it is blkandbold.com, to give you a more in-depth look into who they are. Basically, their whole entire operation is dedicated to giving back. 5% of, they say that right when you get to the site, 5% of their earnings go to nonprofit charitable causes, the children. So they got a whole lot of sponsors. They sponsor a whole lot of things in the community. So, it's coffee with a purpose. They're not just in it just, for monetary gain. They're trying to impact the community, specifically our children. It's like things like summer camp and day camps and sports. They're also partnered with other businesses to help, fund small businesses, people that want to go into business for themselves. So they're doing a lot. So go support Pernell and Rod and the Black and Bold Coffee Company. Visit them at blackandbold.com to read a little bit more about their story. And we're going to give a warm narrative round of applause for those brothers, Pernell and Rod, with the Black and Bold Coffee. All right, moving right along. Now we are at the section in my podcast known as the Spotlight section. And in this section, what I do is spotlight a prominent figure in our community, usually in the entertainment industry, ranging from actors, actresses, athletes, comedians, recording artists, public figures, religious figures, basically anybody in the eye of the public. The types of people that I spotlight are usually people that do some type of philanthropy, giving back, the way they carry and conduct themselves. But the main thing is speaking on the cause and being a beacon for the cause, or just simply the way they carry and conduct themselves as a representation of us. Also giving back, doing philanthropy, helping whoever they can help, paying into nonprofit organizations, starting their own nonprofit organizations, for our youth, for, our brothers and sisters, and, just speaking on the cause, speaking unapologetically from, on all their platforms, and just, like I said, being a beacon about the cause. So now, having said that, I also say, as I said, and I'm going to keep saying many, many times, nobody was spotlighting anybody until I added a spotlight section on my podcast. Now, all of a sudden, everybody, spotlighting this, spotlighting that, spotlight on this person, spotlight on that person. But I just don't want it to get misconstrued, who create the way for that. And, as they say, imitation is the best form of flattery. I'm flattered that so many people are spotlighting now because, my intent by creating the spotlight section was to, create the wave of, saying something nice about your brother and sister online instead of always gossiping, instead of always slandering, roasting, and airing out dirty laundry about your brothers and sisters. Because that's apparently like really big business when we do that, and that's kind of all we do online. Or it's not all we do online, but it overshadows everything that we do online by the arguing and the bickering and the slandering and the calling each other out our names. So I just wanted to create a way where, we're bigging each other up, saying something nice, saying something positive, acknowledging the work we've done. It's not really so much about acknowledging the work. It's just really about, creating the tone for saying something nice about your brother and your sister instead of always something negative. Because what I don't do on my platform is gossip and, slander people's names. Now, what I will do is address something like if a brother or sister is doing something on their platform that got us all looking crazy, I will say something I will address that. But other than that, I kind of mind my own business, stay in my own lane. I don't try to gossip and keep up with the gossip and promote the gossip. Like, got enough outlets for all that. I want to create an outlet where what I try to do on my platform, a phrase that I often say is normalize being normal. Like, it shouldn't be normal business just to another day, another dollar, blasting people online, getting in the comment section saying something negative all the time. I want to create the wave of, showcasing and highlighting our intelligence, our ingenuity, our leadership skills, valor, honor, sense of community, things of that nature. But anyway, on to the spotlight section. Today's spotlight goes to a sister that has been, championing the cause for decades now, a devoted, to her organization, very dedicated to her organization that she's a part of. Very just, her whole aura is just respectable. She commands respect with her presence when she enters the room, makes you just, lifts you up and feels good about who you are. Calling her a matriarch would be an understatement. But she definitely is, sage and wise and helps bring unity within our community in the way of, the original man and the original woman. She specifically, in her expertise, teaches women how to be women, like, especially nowadays, because we got all these things dividing us, and how to be a submissive woman at that. And, they've made being submissive a dirty word, like that's taking away your power as a woman. And, how the context that she puts it in, of course, not letting the man dominate you and, degrade you and put you under the heel of his foot, but also just, how to be a woman as in terms of femininity in your place in the home, in your place in the family structure and in society. But with no further ado, the spotlight goes to Sister, Queen, Mother, Matriarch, Shahrazad Ali. Shahrazad Ali, excuse me. She was born April 27th, 1954, and that's all they gave me. They didn't give me the early life and all that. But like I said, I think I kind of made my point. She's been on talk shows all from the 80s all the way up into now. She's appeared on specials such as um, all kinds of specials. I think Good Hair. I forget the other special. I gotta punch it up. I don't want to mispronounce it, but or like just say something wrong. Hidden Color, excuse me. I was about to say Living Color. I had Living Color on my brain because I like watching some. But anyway, um, yeah, Hidden Colors. She's been on that. Um, she's been on all kinds of documentaries as well. She's written like dozens of books. And like I said, she is just the sage mother that we need to bring, the original man and the original woman together because we have so many things separating us and trying to pull us apart from one another. And that's something I say all the time on my platform. Our superpower lies within our unity. Like the original man and the original woman side by side, um, you know, together in unison instead of, apart and at each other's throat. You know, we cannot survive without y'all and y'all can't survive without us. So we need each other, period. And she does an excellent job at, showcasing and demonstrating, why the woman needs the man so much, why the original woman needs the original man so much, and how to be a good woman to the original man. Because, like I said, it's all about, the submission. And just a sidebar, not all brothers deserve a submissive woman, though. Because there is some, like, low down dogs out there that don't deserve a good woman, good submissive sister. But, yeah, because today, society's made being submissive like a dirty word. Like, that doesn't mean, just be in agreement with everything that a man tells you and just doing his bidding, like being his servant or, a lackey or nothing like that. Just submitting, like, you know what I mean? Compromising and, acknowledging his manhood. But anyway, like I said, the sister is very articulate, very wise, infinitely wise beyond her years, and just has this wholesome feel about her. And I think she is the monocle of who sisters should be looking at, our young ladies they should be looking up to. Um, not modeling themselves after these chicks. Excuse me, I don't like saying chicks, but women online, they got these like real skewed, unrealistic perceptions of what a man is and unrealistic relationship goals and a poor self-image of themselves, like trying to enhance their bodies with surgery. And, if it's not that, it's just being too strong, like so strong to the point she feels she don't need a man, period. Um, you know, so just really bringing it home. She really brings it home and puts it in perspective and, makes it plain and makes it her message digestible and getting us back to our original values, not the ones we've been indoctrinated into. So we're going to give a warm narrative round of applause up for Sister Shahrazad Ali. thank you, sister, so much for all your years that you've been teaching us. Not just teaching our women, but you can, as a man, you can learn a lot from listening to Sister Shahrazad Ali as well, like how to treat your women when you meet one, or not just your woman, a woman, period. So, warm narrative, round of applause for Sister Shahrazad Ali. All right, so on to my next section. My next section is the health and wellness section. And in this section, what I'm doing is, just basically promoting health and wellness, total mind and total body wellness. The reason why I feel I need to do this is to, combat all these negative stereotypes and negative isms, because they tend to wean heavily on our psyche and subconscious. And in that, that's rooted to our health. What you think about yourself determines, how you feel about yourself. And the powers that be have weaponized the media and all these images and sound bites, and, they've weaponized that against us. And that weakens your immune system and makes you susceptible to a lot of airborne pathogens and illnesses and diseases. And I've gone over the word disease, but I'll break it down again. Illnesses are usually typically called diseases because when you break it down, this is, it's mind over matter, mind over anything, really. Because when your mind is at dis-ease, that's when the sickness comes up in you. The physical illness manifests in your body is when your mind is at dis-ease. So, in this section, I will be coming up with things, tips how to combat dis-ease. Because, it's more than a conspiracy that they're trying to wipe us out of this planet. If it's not, what they're putting in the media, is what they're putting in our food, what they're putting in our water, the things they're putting in our air, and other things that we use from day to day that affect our overall health, affect our unique, cellular structure, our unique genetic makeup, aka our melanin, the things that make us us. They're trying to, decode it, disassemble it, and destroy it. So, but anyway, in this section, what I particularly go over is, if it's something you ingest, take into your body, like, the health benefits of a fruit, a vegetable, herb, a root, an extract, an elixir that can help, boost your immune system, fortify your vitality, and overall wellness through ingesting it or applying it topically. The health benefits of that, or a physical exercise you can perform to keep you healthy, active, and fit. Because when you exercise, you're not only, impacting your body, you're impacting your mind, because it feels great when you get movement. It feels good to the body. It feels great to the mind too, when you're getting movement and, building up your stamina and building up your strength. And it just makes you feel good about yourself when you're exercising as well. So that's why I do that. And then, mental stuff like mindful breathing, mindfulness, meditation. I also cover, metaphysical things as well in this section. But today I'll be doing the health benefits of something you eat. And today's health and wellness tip or the health benefits of the Asian pear. So pears in general have a lot of health benefits to them, but this variety of pear, the Asian pear, has an exponentially more health benefits than just your average pear that you eat. It's loaded with fiber, vitamin C, antioxidants, um, helps control your glucose levels, um, large amounts of iron, or it helps you absorb iron. Um, for men, this means like colon in your prostate, really good for your colon and your prostate. For women, you know, it's jam packed with folic acid, and that's essential during the pregnancy process because you become, fatigued more easily and can get deficient in a lot of vitamins and minerals. And partaking in that, fruits, will fortify you with essential folic acids so you can have a healthy pregnancy and get all your vital minerals and nutrients that you need to sustain yourself and your unborn child. So yeah, it has many other health benefits as well, but those are just the most important ones I felt. That's why I shared those ones with you. But you can hit up your good old Googles and look it up for yourself. But the Asian pear is very delicious. Um, the few times, I can't say I incorporate it every single day into my diet, but every time I've gotten one, I've never had an overripe one or an underripe one. So I don't know what it is. The shelf life on them, when you find them in the store, like they're just right every time you get one. So I personally have never had underripe or overripe Asian pear. All right, moving right along. Today's speaking points. Or the next section, excuse me, is my speaking point of the day. In my speaking point, what I usually do is address current issues, a topic or topics trending around the world, worldwide news, or just something in our community, or something that pertains to somebody in our community. Um, and in this section, what I'm attempting to do is control the narrative. I'll unpack it from our perspective because when it's in the eye of the media, like I said, the powers that be, they want to paint us in the worst light possible. They want to make us look as ignorant as possible, violent as possible. Anything they can do to make us look really bad. That's what they try to do. But in this section, like I said, I could try to control the narrative from breaking whatever news is going on from our perspective. Sometimes I don't have anything. And in those instances, what I do is I just share, an observation that I've noticed about our people. It's usually like something we need to work on. And by we, I mean myself as well. But today I actually do have a current thing to talk about, something that's been trending in the news. And, so let's dive right on into it. A controversial post. It's not really controversy. It's really just truth. But this the era we live in. When you tell the truth, all of a sudden it's controversial. So once again, in the media, in this cancel culture, like every time you tell the truth, they want to cancel you for telling the truth. And they usually target one of our own for telling the truth. And so the sights has been set on one of our own again, because they came after him once before for something that he said, a joke, because he is a comedian, Kevin Hart. So his controversial comment is trending right now. Basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, this isn't a direct quote. I'm saying paraphrasing because I might have left out a word or something. But basically he said, we must teach our children the true story of the black Africans when they were kings and queens in Egypt, and not just the era of slavery that is cemented by education in America. Do you remember the time when we were kings? And that right there is kind of like an homage to, at the last part of it, could be construed as an homage to Michael Jackson. Because remember, the Remember the Time video, when they were all in Egyptian garb. Because Mike, he was more woke than people give him credit for. Mike was very, very instrumental in the movement when he was alive. Really impactful and super aware, super woke, and never made any bones about who he was. Even at times when it seemed like he was gravitating and in love with European culture, he never let it be known that I'm still that guy from Gary, Indiana. But I digress. So about Mr. Hart's statement, very factual. Very factual, because again, like I said, the powers that be, it's why they keep making these slave movies. And it's something else that I always say on this my platform as well. We got to tell our story or have our story told for us. And that's what the powers that be are notorious for, is telling our story. And when they tell our story, they tell it inaccurately and, falsely. They weave a false narrative about it. And so essentially the blowback that he's getting is they're saying with that statement that he's blackwashing Egyptian culture because the original Egyptian was white. And literally, the proof is literally on the wall in the hieroglyphs. When you look at it, I mean, in a sense, they're kind of correct, because Egypt, was not the original name of Egypt. The original name of Egypt is Kemet. And the original Kemites were the original man and the original woman. It later on got called Egypt. I mean, like, if you really want to keep it a thou wow, Africans aren't even Africans, because the original name for Africa was Alki Bulan. So, got to know your history. It's important to know your history, to study your history, because if you do not, you cannot move forward. And I think that's what Kevin Hart was attempting in that statement that he made. So I think if he would have said Kemet, he really wouldn't have so much blowback. But saying Egypt, that was just the wiggle room for the cancel culture to get their little foot, their little dirty, dingy, bony foot up in the door to cause ruckus. Like, I don't get the life of like white people sometimes, they want to be oppressed so badly. They want to be oppressed so bad. They always want to say somebody's doing them wrong, somebody's dogging them out. But they don't have a history of being dogged out. We're the only ones with the history of being dogged out every corner of the globe that you find us at. Secondly, nobody can oppress white people. To oppress somebody, you must have a system of power in place. Our people, nowhere on the globe, has a system of power in place to where we can exclude other people. You have to have the power of exclusion to oppress somebody. We don't have any such power of exclusion. We don't have the ability to oppress anybody. So yeah, that's just my only speaking point of the day. They foul with that. They need to go on to the store with that. Like, the writing is literally on the wall who the original Kemite was. So I don't know what they're talking about blackwashing. I mean, they shot off the noses on the Sphinx. All the statues all have African features. Even the mummified people inside the tombs have African features. What are you talking about? Egypt is in North Africa. What are you talking about? Like, Egypt or Kemet, whatever you want to call it, we're the originators of that. We're the originals. Like, whew. It's beyond me. I don't know. Like I said, then people just want to be oppressed so badly. Y'all want to trade? Y'all really want to trade? Let's trade. And see how quick you will stop calling yourself Egyptian then when we trade. All right, that'll do it for my speaking points, because I think I made my point. And on to my final thought of the day. My final thought of the day is usually a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something that basically incites, evokes, or promotes critical thinking, or just something to resonate with you and be like, damn, that was deep. And my final thought for today and this year is finished. I mean, look up finished in the dictionary. The definition of finished. Let's see, what does finished mean? Pull out my trusty dusty Google. Finished. Of action, activity, a piece of work having been completed or ended. A preparatory drawing for the finished painting. And then I can go on and on, but you get the gist of what finished means. But dig this. This is what the dictionary didn't tell you. You know who decides what's finished? You decide what's finished. Because a lot of people made, like, we're entering a new year, and every year people, do New Year's resolutions and make goals and plans for the new year. And a lot of people made plans for this year, and they fell a little short on their goals. They either didn't do it, or didn't turn out the way they planned it, or they didn't get the desired effect of what they set their plan to motion, or what they conceived it in their minds to be. But, You're not finished. And when you finish, you decide when you're finished. And you're the only one that can decide when you're finished. The only time you can't decide when finished is and what is when it concerns another person. Like when you enter a space with another person and they say they're finished, like if you're in a relationship, the other person says, I'm finished. You have to accept that and move on. But when it concerns yourself, finished, like anything that has to do with you, anything that you're working on, anything that you're doing, you decide what is finished. You decide the finished product, what the finished product to look like. You decide the stopping time. You dictate and decide what's finished. It's only finished if you say so. So if you didn't complete a goal or something that you're working on, something that you're trying to do, guess what? You're not finished yet. Only you decide when you're finished. Just because you set like a little date, a time date, I want to be done by this. And I'm gonna pick on women, like, cause they're notorious for this. Like, they be having these little systematic plans. I'm at age 23. I'm gonna get my husband, and we're gonna be married and happily, and I'm gonna have a child by 24, and I'm gonna have a house at 29, and da da da. And then when you don't get it by these little time dates that you set, then you get depressed, and then you don't want to do it no more. And then you decide at that moment that you're finished. But in reality, you decide when you're finished. So if you really, really want it bad, don't let the date that you said you'll have it by deter you from keep on doing it. Just let your own vision and your own insight and your own drive and ambition be your your signal, your beacon, your compass on this little road of life. Be your guide. Don't let things around you, your circumstances, any indicators, like if you ran out of money trying to pursue your goal, you're not finished yet. Don't let your health dictate you're finished. You're not finished yet. Oh, I'm sick today. I can't work on the thing. Lay in the bed, get well. After you're well, get up, do it again. Don't let your the only thing that will dictate your finished is you. You decide when you're finished. Nobody around you can decide. I mean, they'll try to decide, if you let them. Be like, well, you've been doing it for 4 or 5 years, and 6 and 7. Do you think maybe it's time to hang it up? And they'll penetrate your chain of thought and your chain of thinking if you let them. And then you, because you're weary from it, because you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you would say, oh, I think I am finished. I'm going to try something else. Or maybe that wasn't for me, especially like religious folk. They be like, well, if the Lord wanted you to have it, you would already had it by now. Only you decide when you're finished. So that's it, and that's all. Final word of the day, finished. Been another one, y'all. Been too real. Y'all been too good to me a whole year here on the Narrator Podcast, bringing that consistency. I've never not did a full episode, excluding the Christmas Eve. I've been consistent with it. You can go back in my episode logs. I'm nearly 200 episodes in. My platform keeps growing. I got all kinds of options on the table. I'm not finished yet. Um, so thanks for supporting me, everybody. Sending you love, light, and healing energy, and support from you, like you've been supporting me. Um, I'm looking at my views, so I know who's supporting me. Thanks for all the feedback. Everybody that's giving me feedback. Um, the platform is just going to continue to grow and get bigger because I'm not finished yet. Um, so some other things I got going on, my personal poetry blog, please go support that, www.mrhalsey'sblogs.com. And the way you support that is by sharing, one of my poems from Halsey's Poetry Corner. It's called Halsey's Poetry Corner. I should have backed up. It's called Halsey's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalsey'sblogs.com. And the way you support that is share those poems on any platform you got, any and all platforms you got. Your Facebook, your Twitter, your Tumblr, your TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse, whatever, Reddit, whatever you're on, whatever your preferred platform is, share one of my poems from Halsey's Poetry Corner to that. Then also make sure you go purchase your copy, start the new year off right. Go to the Poetizer bookstore and purchase your copy of my book that I wrote, The Black Card. Yeah, do it right now. Poetizer bookstore and go purchase your copy of the book, Poetizer, on Poetizer, called The Black Card. It's titled by me, Halsey Allen. It's titled The Black Card, written by me, excuse me. But go get that. Go get a couple copies. Give it to a friend. Some late Christmas gifts. Go into the new year, with a good coffee table book for that coffee that I just told you to go out and purchase. The Black Card, go get that. And then also to help keep the platform growing, download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. You can download it, like it, favorite it, share it, but most of all, if you don't do nothing else, download it. All previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. And that'll do it. Full episodes every single weekend of the Narrative Podcast. Tune in regularly because I broadcast one time during the weekday live. So to not miss my lives, check me out on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that notification bell. Smash up the likes. That's just my viewer page, Halsey Allen. I don't got one exclusively for the Narrative Podcast, but yeah. And then also follow me on Twitter, Halsey Allen, because all my lives go to Twitter and YouTube. But that's it and that's all. Been a good year. Wishing everybody nothing but peace, prosperity, abundance. Crush your goals. You decide when you're finished. We ain't finished yet. We got so much work to do. We just getting started. We rolling up them sleeves this year. We taking control. We taking everything we got coming and more. All of us this year. There's going to be a lot of greatness coming in our community. There's going to be a lot of greatness coming from me, and I know it's going to be a lot of greatness coming from you all that's been listening to me. We got this, narrators, Narrative Podcast, Halsey Allen, out of here like this year. Please tune in for the full episode next week. Narrative Podcast, Halsey Allen, signing off. And it's like that.
set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit, put it.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.